So, we have something very special for the channel today, and it is coming in the form of what's written on this steering wheel here, Defender. We are currently in the new Land Rover, the 2020 Defender. First initial impressions, it's quite alright, you know. It's got a big grab handle on here, which I quite like. There's lots of USB sockets everywhere. It's quite nice having the screen. We'll take it on the road and see what we think then. Here we are, driving the new Icon, which is, well, the reimagined Icon Defender. It's quite a nice click. It's automatic as well, which I didn't think we'd ever see a Defender like that. So I believe this is the 2-litre engine. I should have asked Jeremy, but we'll go this way. So we're following Jeremy in the Discovery Sport. So it's quite a high up driving position, which I quite like because I've got that in my Discovery, which is quite nice. And you still feel like you're in command of the road, and you could, I mean, you know, we're probably sitting, I mean, it's on its standard suspension setting now, but I mean, we're probably as high as the, if not higher than the Range Rover Sport in front of us that we're following. Yeah, and I mean, so far, I mean, they're having the, you know, incredible screen. The dash is really intuitive. You can see everything that's going on. I mean, it's got quite a bit of get up and go about it. I think this might be in petrol, actually. I'm not sure. We'll find out. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, for a big car, I mean, this probably weighs about the same as my Discovery, which is probably 2.5 ton. I'm not 100% on that, we'll find that out. But I mean, so far, I mean, it feels, you know, well commanded. It feels good on the road. It feels big. It's interesting because, I mean, the windows look quite small from the outside, but you can still see quite a bit of things. I mean, there is a terrible blind spot on the back corner when you look over on there with the headrest. But I mean, apart from that, the wing mirrors are, I mean, a different shape to the other stuff in the Land Rover range, and I must admit, so far it feels pretty good. I mean, it is comfortable. You know, it is well presented. It's weird because I mean, even here there's nothing to put your arm on, which I quite like, because on my old Defender you always had to have the window down when driving the Defender to put your arm out, which I kind of like. They've carried it on. I mean, you can rest your arm there, but yeah, I mean, I think the dash is really easy. Everything, all the controls are exactly where you want them to be. What engine's this one got in it?
That's a 2-litre D240.
P240?
D240.
D240.
So diesel, 240 horsepower.
Ah, lovely stuff. So it's a diesel 240 2-litre engine. Will we make it? Yeah, we will. So we're going up here, we're going down here, and we'll give it a bit of chutney. So I mean, yeah, I mean, it cruises well. It's really quiet, which on my old Defender, there'd be rattles. I mean, it's comfortable. I mean, we're at 70 miles an hour now, and cruise control as well. That's something that's never happened before on a Defender. It's weird because people are like, oh, you know, this is my personal opinion on this car, is the Defender was a brilliant car at what it was, but it was based on a design that was from the 50s, and you know, even the newest one, what I had, which was the Transit engine, and that was top spec, and it had air conditioning, heated seats, like luxuries like that. And even going up the motorway and that, it would rattle and squeak. And yes, I get that it's not necessarily designed for that, because it is a bit more of a farm vehicle. But at the end of the day, if you're using a Defender every day like I was, and doing the miles that I was doing, I'd be doing 20,000 a year, if not more, and I love the Defender, but this is, I still like, it's interesting, isn't it, really, what people's thoughts are on this, because it's really split. Like, people either love it or they hate it. It's a bit like Marmite. So far, I'm loving it. I think, there's some real nice design cues to the old one. The automatic box is lovely. I've got this, I think it's the same gearbox that's in my Discovery, and it, that's fantastic, the 8-speed. The 2 litre I'm still a bit undecided of. The 240 brake is plenty enough in a car like this, but it, does it want to be a bit more of a torquier 3 litre? That's nice. That's the old Range Rover, Big Vogue, cash. So yeah, I mean, people question it and go, oh, what is, has it replaced the Icon? And it's like, well, it's like comparing a brogue to a running shoe. One does one thing very well and another does something very, I don't know what I'm chatting at this point. Has it replaced the Icon? That's a hard one. This car is lovely. I could have one of these and drive this happily everywhere, and I like the road position, I like how you're in command. That, I mean, having that in a Defender is mad. That's front row, second row and third row all on the air cut. You can feel it blowing a bit better now. That's fantastic. This screen is so easy. You've got everything on there. Dancing Queen by Cher. I mean, what is my phone doing? And then you've got the navigation up there. That comes up, and that's a really nice, big, incredible screen on that. And you've got food, fuel, parking. I mean, this new screen, I presume they're going to roll this across all the Land Rover products now, this new Pivi Pro or whatever it's called. But by God, it is good. Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's comfortable. My Defender was so uncomfortable, honestly. That's one thing I keep going back to, because I think if you're trying to compare, it's weird. I'm trying to compare it to the Defender. I don't think it can be compared to the old shape Defender. I think you're better comparing it to an old shape Discovery. It really is a job to know. This is the new 360 camera on this, which is mad. You can see how on earth that does that, and you've got a view of the outside of the car. I mean, that is incredible. That is some form of bloody witchcraft. So you see the wheel, you can see on the car. I mean, look at that. That is mad. That is really cool. That is witchcraft, that. Oh, yeah, fair play. That is cool. Another quick feature that I've just discovered on this, which is quite cool, is say if you've got your seats back down and you've got a load of stuff in the boot and your view is obscured, don't worry, Land Rover have thought of that. That right there goes from a mirror to a rear view camera, which is located up on the rear fin. So that is now, so I can see behind me like I would do if the mirror was not there, which is, I think, is really smart. I mean, that is really quite something else. That is incredible. Right, so here we are. Shut up. We've pulled over. We're going to go a quick run round of the car, because it is, it is a big car at the end of the day. It's certainly bigger than my Discovery sits. I mean, I'm 5'10", 5'11", maybe even 6 foot on a good day, and it's still taller than me. So we've just had Jeremy run through a few of the key points on it, and which is actually a point that I didn't look, even in here. So in the footwell, if you take the carpet out, it's all really made of quite durable stuff. You can wash that out if you've got muddy boots on quite easily. And the carpet's quite nice, but we don't have carpet in cars. I mean, like little details like this, you've got the rivets. What on earth is that? Dear God, where even are we? Like the rivets, which are, you know, well, these aren't rivets, these are a hex nut bolt, but they're obviously, it all holds the door card on, which is another hark back to the old one because of the amount of exposed metalwork on the old one. You know, you've got the door, the panel there, in the back. If you go for leg room, which I always remember on my old one was terrible. Anyone over sort of 5'5" in the back of my old Defender used to struggle, but I mean, I'm, like I say, 5'10", and there's plenty of room. Really comfy seats, to be fair. Good grab handles everywhere. You've got up here, which is a classic Land Rover, is the Alpine light, which I said about. And that is, every Defender used to have them. If it was a station wagon especially, used to have the Alpine. I think they all did, actually. You got these. Everyone was on about what's the square for, and Jeremy's just told me what the square's for. It's for the adventure pack. You can get these panniers, I can't remember the word, like you get on bikes. Storage boxes that go on the side, and then on this other side there's a ladder for if you've got the roof rack, and that's one of Land Rover's four different packs for this. They do an Explorer pack, which I believe gives you the roof rack, the raised air intake on the side, off-road tyres. They put bigger arches on them and both the sides, and then they do the Adventurer pack, the Urban pack, and the Country pack. Don't quote me on that, I'm not 100%. But yeah, he was saying another thing is you can open the door and it will stay where the door, you know, it won't blow open, it will stay where it is. It obviously opens when you want it to open, but this has got a soft close on here, so that's shut, no effort. So yeah, I mean, obviously you've got the old styling Land Rover queues here with the double lights, which that was very much Defender. They used to have the round lights. I would, if I were Land Rover though, I'd personally have these two. I'd have one up there and then one down there, because that's a bit more old Defender, but they've obviously, there's a reason behind why they've done it. This one's on big 20-inch alloys, which I wouldn't say, you know, normally 20-inch wheels, you're like a bit, whoa, bloody hell, but these are actually, the tyre still on them. The you know, width of tyre is still loads, especially for going off-road and stuff like that. What else you got? So I mean, over here, you know, shut up. Big grab handle. They had that on the late Pumas had the grab handle. These grab handles on the side here were on all of the TDI dashes. I remember from my first Defender having handles like that either side. That was more of the Puma style. Loads of storage space in here, you know, under here there's loads of storage space. There's loads under here. Again, USB sockets everywhere, a big cubby box in there. You know, storage behind here. Glove compartment there, obviously. There's storage absolutely everywhere on this car. Again, classic sort of round headlight. They've kept the round headlight style, like the old Defender. The two lights, again, classic Defender and sort of the older Land Rovers as well. I think they're both a DRL. Yeah, they're daytime running lights all the way around, which look really smart. It's got the fog lights. I really like this, how this is done in silver as well. Like it's like a bash guard type style thing. Makes the front look really aggressive. Up here you've got these they're obviously fake, but they're to style like off the older Defenders, where a lot of people put checker plate wing tops on, and that's a really nice hue. So we open the bonnet up. So this is Land Rover's 2-litre Ingenium engine in here, but you see on the older Defender it would always be, you'd have a bit, the bonnet sort of came across at a sort of V angle, and you'd always have a little bit of wing exposed, which they've kept with this as sort of best as possible they can. So yeah, that is the 2020 Defender. I mean, obviously, you know, I'm not qualified to make an opinion, but I like it. I do like it. I don't like the colour, but I think a black pack one of these with the snorkel and the roof rack and the winch, you can spec a worn Xeon 12S winch, is what I had on my Defender before I sold it. You can spec that so it's built in, which is really cool. That's a 5.5 ton capacity winch. And yeah, I mean, I think, you know, one of these in with the black pack and Santorini black and the roof rack and the A-bar protection, I think would look really, really smart. And I must admit, I do like this a lot as a car, and I would take it off-road because that's what they're designed for. I take the Discovery off-road, I take the Defender off-road. I mean, you know, it's not as rugged as the old one, but that's just the way cars are. And there's so, you know, people go, oh well, why don't Land Rover just bring back the old Defender? And it goes down to the question of they can't, because there's so many rules and regulations. You know, if people get hit, they've got to live. I'll tell you, if someone hit on the front of my Defender, that would be bad news for him. My old one, you know, this probably would still hurt a lot, but it's all to do with regulation, and I think Land Rover have done their very best at trying to make the car look that. I think the main issue for me is probably the price. I think this one's, it's about 60 grand, which is a lot of money for a car that's meant to be more of a utility truck compared to some of the other Land Rover models. But it'll be interesting to see how they go on the second-hand market after a couple of years. Would I look at getting one potentially in the future? But I also don't like the fact that there's no 3-litre diesel engine. But obviously Land Rover are trying to cut down the emissions, which is fair enough, and we're all going to have to go electric anyway. So there's probably, they're going to do a hybrid of this. Whether they do a full electric version is another matter. Probably will do because of the law. So yeah, that is I've had to do some running, now I'm out of breath. That is my thoughts on the 2020 Land Rover Defender. Can you call it the Defender 2? Who knows? Is it more of a Discovery? Again, it's all a matter of opinion. I think they've done a really smart job with it, and it would be interesting, and it would be good to see a few more of these on the roads. Finishing off the test drive now, we're going back to the dealership, which is, you know, really, it's been really good fun and positive to have a go in the new one, which I've been looking forward to having a go for a long while. It would be good to see how it is off-road, so we're going to try and see if we can wangle one of the Land Rover off-road days in one of these when the coronavirus is all lifted away a bit. So yeah, it's been really positive. This is, you know, it's good stuff. I mean, obviously all the off-road features that come with Land Rovers are going to be absolutely fantastic as always. Let's have a look. I mean, look, wade sensing, 4x4 information, and that's incredible. So it's got wade sensing, so if you're going through water, so I don't think it might not do now, to be fair. I understand, do not exceed. So then the water will come up along there, which is cool. And it will tell you exactly what, which I believe this has a wading depth of about 900. So then you've got all the 4x4 information here as well. You've got your bearing and your altitude. Stuff like that is just classic Land Rover. You've got the centre diff lock there. It'll tell you all the geometry. Obviously we're just in normal drive mode at the moment. So yeah, high, low, classic Land Rover stuff. Just want to say a quick thank you to Lancaster Jaguar Land Rover for accommodating me with the new Defender and letting me have a go. Jeremy is the bloke to see here. He's a top geezer and top chap, and definitely recommend if you're looking for a new Jaguar Land Rover product. whether it be a Vogue, whatever, Discovery, X-Type, that's not even a thing anymore, F-Type even, then yeah, check out, you know, really smart dealership here in Milton Keynes. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more things and updates. Follow my Instagram. Subscribe and like. Thank you so much. Cheers.